Happy New Year and welcome to This Week in Falcons Athletics presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Our first edition here in 2025. My name is Matt Menzel, an all basketball edition as we talk with Logan Landers and men's basketball in segment number 2. But at first, we talk with sophomore Gracie McNabb as we talk women's hoops and they get ready, like the men's team, for the Concordia Invitational Tournament this weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. But before we talk about that, you're from Grafton, Wisconsin, so what made Concordia your college choice?
Multiple reasons. First of all, for basketball, I loved coach. I loved the team. So it really drew me to this school. Also, my major is OT, and Concordia has a great OT program. And, being close to home is super convenient and nice, and I love it here.
And certainly nice on a day like today where it's negative 8 degrees outside. And you look for yourself. Okay, we mentioned you're a sophomore. What's been the biggest difference for you from year 1 to year 2?
I think just confidence level. Just shooting-wise, this summer I worked hard on my shot, and last year I had a rough shooting year. So just having more confidence this year has made shooting a lot easier and a lot more fun.
And you've worked your way into the starting five. Is there a different mindset, being in the starting lineup versus coming off the bench?
I don't think there's a different mindset. I think it's pretty much the same, but definitely more confidence, just knowing that you're starting the game and hopefully finishing the game too. So again, just a confidence thing, but I think it's kind of the same off the bench and starting.
Let's talk about your shooting for a second because you're a three-point threat for the Falcons. You look at your numbers, you've hit at least 1 3 in 12 of 14 games played. Have you always been a three-point shooter?
I have. I tore my ACL when I was younger, and that kind of took away the driving aspect for me, so I kind of just started staying outside the three-point line. But I knew that was where I was more confident being, so shooting just kind of came naturally. And in high school and now these 2 years, I've just been a shooter.
And you've had some big-time performances. You look this season, you hit 5 threes en route to 19 points against North Central. You knocked down 4 threes en route to scoring 18 points here inside the John Book Fieldhouse against Benedictine. Are there certain games where you feel like you're on and you know that shot's going up, that it's going in?
Yes, usually I always say if the first shot I make in the game goes in, then the rest are going in too. So usually just seeing the ball go through the hoop gives me confidence that the rest will.
Well, from a team perspective, all of a sudden the Falcons have won 3 of the last 4, sit 5-2 in conference play. Your thoughts on the way the team's playing right now?
I think we're playing really well. I think our team confidence has skyrocketed too. We've had some big wins recently, and we just want to keep that going in conference play.
And coming off a victory against Dominican that on Saturday, when you look back at that victory against the Stars, what stands out about that performance?
I think, again, just confidence. We worked really hard and we knew we needed to get the job done there, and we did. We executed our game plan like we were supposed to, and yeah.
And you look at the road ahead, coming up on Wednesday, we'll be at MSOE and then taking on Concordia Ann Arbor, all part of the Concordia Invitational Tournament this weekend. I don't want to look past MSOE. I know you guys are focused on MSOE, but for you, you're about to play in your second CIT. Now, granted, your first not on the Mequon campus. What do you remember about CIT last year, just, I guess, managing all the emotions that come with that tournament?
It was so fun. I think especially being at home, it was so fun. Sad that this year is the last year for CIT, but just the environment was so cool. I mean, so many students showed up, and the support meant a lot. So it was super cool as a freshman to have it at home, and yeah, it was super fun.
So again, the women's team will play at MSOE on Wednesday, then they will be at Concordia Ann Arbor on Friday, championship or consolation game on Saturday from Ann Arbor, Michigan. To wrap things up, I guess, what's your mindset, okay, from here through the duration of the season? What goals or what maybe is your mindset for the rest of this season?
I think just to keep working and keep going up and keep getting wins.
Absolutely. Can't ask for much more than that. Gracie, thanks a lot for your time. All the best.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more as we continue with This Week in Falcons Athletics presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
I can't imagine being any other profession than an orthopedic surgeon. We have the privilege and we have the responsibility to make people better. We've been fortunate enough to take care of professional athletes. We've also been fortunate enough to take care of our neighbors and friends who trust us to give them back their life.
One of the main reasons I came here was because this is the way healthcare is meant to be delivered. Being devoted exclusively to orthopedic care means that we can focus on delivering specialized care for every patient. And that includes not only the surgeons and the physicians, but also anesthesia, controlling pain, the nurses, and the scrub techs, and everyone in recovery is dedicated to treating conditions that are very similar for people.
Our tagline is an uncommon focus on you. We think the focus on the patient experience is what sets us apart. Before we make any process or clinical decision at the hospital, we start with the same question: is this what's best for the patient? If we can't answer yes, we move on to the next idea. Our nurses provide care for no more than 3 patients per shift, whereas other facilities, they might provide care for 7 or even 8 patients per shift. We think this personalized care is what sets us apart from others.
I think that dedication to our patients is our #1 focus. And you can technically do a good operation, but if you're not centered on the patient, they're not necessarily going to have a great outcome.
The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is physician-owned. It's physician-led. We have the responsibility to make the right decision for every patient. We also have the freedom to make the right decision for every patient.
The physicians and staff collaborate through regular meetings, weekly and monthly, and with a relatively small team, we're able to change the way we do things if we need to tweak something to make it perfect.
The facility specifically was designed so that quality could be measured and maintained and sustained. When you have 7,000 patients a year receive their surgery here, it's important that patient number 1 and patient number 7,000 receive the same care.
We place an extremely high priority on the patient experience here. We send surveys to each and every person that receives care at our hospital. Those survey results come back directly to me. I review them and share them with our senior leadership, as well as the staff and the physicians that provide the care to those patients.
There's almost 5,000 hospitals in the country that are measured. The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin measures number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not runner-up, number 1 in patient satisfaction in the state of Wisconsin for the last 10 years running.
Welcome back to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, back inside the ruckus John Book Fieldhouse. Boy, I was a little bit taller as I'm being joined now by Logan Landers and in his junior season. First, though, with the Falcons, and let's start there. Obviously, at one point at Kansas State, then Grand Canyon. Why Concordia?
I've known Coach Cassidy since I was in first grade, and he always let me know that I always have a spot here if I ever want to come back home, play ball, and just enjoy it. And after stuff transpired at my other schools, and I decided to come back home, I knew there was a spot here. I called Coach Cassidy. We had a great conversation, and I couldn't be more happy to be here.
Was it a smooth transition and just getting used to the system and what Concordia men's basketball is all about?
Yeah, it was. Coach Cassidy, Coach Miller, they made it a very smooth transition. The big thing they wanted to get across to me was to play my game. And, once that started to come out and, we all started to click as a team, it was easy going.
You look at this team and, a slower start, very good non-conference, challenging slate, started off 0-6. You look at those 6 games, did it take a little while for the chemistry to develop? I guess, what do you equate the slow start to?
Everyone's journey is different, and that was definitely a building journey for us as a team. It was a tough journey, but we look at it as it built us. We faced the lowest of lows, and we learned a lot about each other, ourselves as a team and as individuals. I really just look at it as it taught us a lot about the game and each other, and it has made us much better for it.
I was going to say, you look at the results, proofs in the pudding, if you will, having won now 7 of the last 9. How much fun has these last few weeks been now seeing the ball bounce your guys' direction?
It's been phenomenal. There's been certain things that we've been at the highest of highs and lowest of lows, even during that amazing stretch. And, it's been great to get those wins and put us back in a position to fight in conference for a good position in the seedings and everything. It's brought a lot of light to our team and to our practices and everything all around.
I really believe we should have gotten a step stool for this interview. It's negative 10 degrees up there. Down here it's negative 8. But You look last Wednesday here inside the John Book Field, a big victory against St. Norbert, able to hang on and knock off a quality Green Knights opponent. In your opinion, what was the difference in that win?
Man, that was a crazy game.
It was.
The atmosphere, the fans, I mean, the play on the court, the referees allowed us to go out there and play and have fun. It was unbelievable. We just really rallied together. We knew that was going to be a tough game. We knew Norbert was going to come in and give us their best punch. And, we were fortunate enough to throw our best punch and, came away with the win.
Speaking of best punch, what happened to your nose? Obviously in that game you got hurt, but I understand now you got the face mask now?
Yeah, so I dinged up the top part of my nose twice, was dealing with a little bit of issues and whatnot with the mask and whatnot, but I'm learning from it. And, I don't know how much longer I'm going to have to wear that. Hopefully not much longer. My nose feels fine. Somehow it's still straight. Got the 2 black eyes, but otherwise I'm all good.
It's fun to watch you on this court because you have so much energy and emotion, and I think the team feeds off of that. Has that always been a part of your game, that energy, that emotion?
Yeah, I mean, I've been like that since I was little. I've always been high energy, sometimes really good, sometimes not so good because I get all fired up, but it's all part of my game. I love to bring that to the game for our team, for myself, for the fans, everything. It's just all part of it.
Now, following that game Wednesday, a tough loss Saturday at Dominican, in your opinion, what was the difference there?
There's moments in the game where you just kind of sit there and look and go, how do we go from this to that?
Sure.
And that was one of those where we really had to reflect as a team. We just had to figure out what was going on there. That wasn't us, that wasn't anything that we normally do. It's really something that we have reflected on. We addressed it yesterday, we're going to address it today, and I think you guys will see and everyone will see we're going to come out as the team we were versus Norbert Wednesday versus MSOE here.
Let's talk about that quickly. Wednesday, 7 o'clock here against MSOE. You guys saw the Raiders earlier in the month. Tough loss in that second half. You look at that game, what are your takeaways from that first meeting that you can apply to tomorrow night?
They're a great team. They got a great coach team overall. We came out, we played great in the first half, and really we just didn't execute our defense in the second half from top to bottom. It was just we had a tough stretch at the end. Some things I saw in film for myself that I just did not do and I have to do, and I largely put that on myself in the second half there. It's also something like I've been saying, we grew a lot from it. We've grown a lot since then, and, we're really excited to get them again here because that's one we've been waiting for, especially after what happened at their place.
Obviously, the focus right now is on MSOE, but then thereafter, quickly, the 72nd CIT from Ann Arbor. What are you anticipating? It's going to be your first CIT. What are you anticipating from what could be in Ann Arbor, Michigan this weekend?
I've heard that it is one of the craziest atmospheres I will experience. I've obviously been fortunate enough to play in some pretty big arenas, places, and whatnot, but I know this is going to be something special given how grounded it is, meaning Concordia's playing each other and whatnot. I know that there's a great history with that. I expect very high atmosphere, high intensity, very hostile, and I love that stuff. We thrive off that as a team too, so I think it's going to be a great time.
Can't wait. And again, you can see him in person coming up Wednesday, 7 against MSOE. Logan, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And that's, again, one of the things going on this week, a busy week for Concordia Athletics, which will include tonight men's volleyball against North Park here inside the John Book Fieldhouse at 7 o'clock. Thursday, wrestling home against Lakeland. Busy Friday, which will include ACHA hockey in Oxford, Ohio against Trine. Men's hockey's at Aurora. Women's hockey home against Aurora. Men's volleyball will be at American International. Saturday, you have track and field. They're at the Aurora Grand Prix. Wrestling at the CCIW Duels from Carthage. You have men's volleyball taking on Sage and LaSalle. Also, men's hockey will be home against Aurora. Women's hockey at Aurora. ACHA hockey is still in Oxford, Ohio, taking on Lake Superior State. And then finally on Sunday, ACHA hockey is still in Oxford, Ohio for 3 games in 3 days, taking on a very good Lindenwood team. So that and more coming up this week. Be sure to stay tuned to CUWFalcons.com. Thanks for joining us this week for This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.